well, with the title Built-in Characters, the Architecture of Chinese Script. And as we know, well, here in this presentation, I will introduce the Chinese character and the Chinese culture, well, through these several parts. And so we will explain it in detail later on. Now, first, let's see Chinese characters. As we know, Chinese characters are fundamental to understanding Chinese culture due to their deep historical roots, symbolic nature, and a role in shaping thought and communication. And Chinese character is one of the world's oldest writing system. So it is far more than a writing system, actually. It is a cultural archive that implicitly encodes philosophy, aesthetics, and even architectural principles, which we will explore in this presentation. And Chinese architecture is often said to be a living character, which means its form, structure, and its symbolism interlocked to convey cultural values like Chinese characters. So today, we will explore the relationship between Chinese architecture and the Chinese characters as they share a profound connections. And so it is important for us to study Chinese characters to understand architecture. Now, let's explore this relationship in detail. Now, first of all, let's have a quick overview of Chinese architectural history and cultural significance. Now, the core principles of Chinese architecture are like the following, which is Chinese architecture is defined by these several aspects. One is harmony with nature. Well, with harmony with nature, we emphasize feng shui principle. Well, for feng shui, literally means feng means wind, shui means water. So feng shui principles, that is actually a kind of principle we follow in Chinese architecture and in our living. And it is aligned with the landscape. So we try to create architecture which is harmonious with nature. And then the second important feature is the wooden post and the beam construction in ancient Chinese culture. So because wood is very flexible and it is flexible to fight against the earthquake. And also for this wooden post beams construction, we can find these curved roofs. So it is curved. We can curve that on the wooden post and the beams. Another feature is hierarchy and symbolism. So the building actually demonstrate a kind of hierarchy in through its scales, colors. So these building scales and colors can reflect Confucius order. For example, if you visit China, if you visit the Forbidden City in Beijing, you can find those royal palace with yellow tiles. So these yellow tiles are for the imperial roofs. And then another feature is modularity. That is, we have these standardized jian or bay units for expandable layers. So we can expand the layers of the building through the number of jian, or that is the measure word for the house. So that's the quick overview of the principles of Chinese architecture. So you will find those principles in the following presentations through the characters. Now, as we know that Chinese script or Chinese characters is logographic, which means many characters originated as pictorial representations of real-world objects. including architectural elements. Now, let's take examples. Let's take examples. For example, here we have the construction techniques. So we use these Chinese characters indicate the construction techniques. For example, the word 柱 here, 柱 in Chinese, it means pillow in English. So the formation of this word is, you can see on the left part is mu, which means wood. And the right part here is 柱, that means post. Also, it indicates its pronunciation. So this word 柱 indicates that a wooden post supporting a roof. Now you can find the picture here. So these are 柱. Now in Chinese building, we use this post to support the roof, and very much like the character here is the pillar, and you can find these lines. And another is that we can find the special organizations through the Chinese word. For example, yuan. Yuan means courtyard. So if we analyze this word, we can find the left part, we pronounce it as fu, which means mound or steps. The steps or mound or mountainous steps. And the right part here, one, well, it means complete. That means with the courtyard, we have this circle, and then it complete. It means a peaceful one, also means a peaceful, undisturbed dwellings. Usually, it is built on high ground because we have the left part, mound, here means higher ground. So with this word yuan, Chinese character, we can find a kind of a special organization. So when you are in the following, we can see when you have the word yuan, usually it means it has a kind of walled, walled enclosure. And now, through the Chinese character, we can also find the materials of the architecture. For example, the word mu here means wood, appears in lou. Lou here is a multi-story building. So when you have this mu indicated the material, this building is built of wood. And the right part indicating there are several layers or story here. Through the word low, we know the material of this building and also what kind of structure it is. So how characters are built like architecture? Just now we have just a quick review. Now first let's see Chinese characters are built like architecture. When we say it's built like architecture, we mean it has kind of structural parallels. Let's take the word men, which means gate. Take this word, for example. We can see the balance and the symmetry through this word. Now, this is the word men in the earliest script, that is oracle bone inscription. So you can see Chinese character, as we have just mentioned, usually, it can depict or it can reflect the real word. So this is what in the real world, what men is look like. So here you can see the beam here, and there are two door leaves. So very much like the real word men. Yeah, and then it changed a little bit to make the writing easier. That's the bronze inscription. Well, it has dropped this beam and then changed into two here. Usually men means two door leaves. Yeah. And with one, well, it is, it has two door leaves, like this door leaves. If it is one, that means hu means only one door leaf. But here we have two door leaves, and then gradually change in this way. Well, this is the regular seal, and this is the simplified word, and this is the traditional script, and this is the simplified word. So in the traditional script, we still can find these two door leaves. So that's the door in real word, very simple one. And also this is the door in Forbidden City, very, well, you can see it's very sophisticated. We'll see that in detail later. So all this indicate the balance and the symmetry through this word and through this architecture. We can see in architecture, we emphasize balance and symmetry, while in this Chinese character, we also can see this balance and symmetry. Now, let's take Forbidden City and Chinese character Zhong, for example, where Zhong, we learn Chinese, and we know that Zhong is the basic Chinese character. It means center. Here, that's the oracle bone inscription. It has already the word Zhong here, a vertical line and a kind of balance. And then change bronze seal script, and now this is the regular script we used today. Now, if you compare Forbidden City with the Chinese character Zhong, you will find the similarity between these two. Here is the Forbidden City. You can write like Zhong. Here is their vertical stroke or axis or the central line. And here we can see the most important part in the middle. That's the bird's eye view of the Forbidden City. So they share a lot of similarities. Now, if you take a close look at these two, Forbidden City and character Zhong, you can find here, well, there is a central line that is central axis. Well, the Forbidden City is structured along a north-south central axis. Well, actually, this is the the principle of Chinese architecture, and it is follow feng shui principles. So from the north to south, this kind of direction, and facing the building facing south. And this is the front gate, and this is the back gate. So it's this very much like a vertical stroke. And for the surrounding structures, the outer wall and the gate form a kind of a rectangular enclosure. So it's an enclosure. Well, actually, this is the outer wall, and then the inside wall. We have also this inside wall. And here is the what we called similar to the outer core, or core also pronounced as a radical, it pronounced as a way. So it means square, and in Chinese character zhong. And now here is the gate called Meridian Gate here, and in front, and the gate of Shen Wumen Divine Powers Gate here at the back. So from it's in the center. Divided these two parts. And here on the both sides, left and the right, we also have a lot of buildings, well, which are not so important as the central one. Well, in this building, we can find the main hall. Here are the main hall. So this main hall or key halls, we have three great halls. The first one is called Taihe Dian. Here, Taihe Dian, the first one. And then the second one is Zhonghe Dian. And the next one is 保和殿. So these are most important or hall or buildings in the Forbidden City. So it aligns with the central line, reinforcing the center concept. And then the middle bar symbolize the east and west palace, and flanking the central axis. They all surround this central one. So here, this is a picture for this three main hall. So here is the 太和殿, and in the middle, it's a little bit small, 中和殿, and then in the back, that is 保和殿. So I changed the direction. So this is these three main building here. So the Chinese character 中 represents China's historical view of itself as the Middle Kingdom. So 中国, if you translate it into English, that means Middle Kingdom. So that's the ancient or historical view of the self. And the Forbidden City, that is where the emperors live, and also the design, it physically embodied this idea of center. So with the emperor's throne at the center. And when we say Chinese characters are built like architecture, that, that's here from the load-bearing components, we can also see this concept. We know when you write Chinese character, or when you read Chinese character or learn Chinese character, we know Chinese characters are composed with a lot of radicals. For example, like a pillar here, we have the word mu. So this mu in the word low, we have just mentioned, low means multi-layered or multi-story building or tower. So this mu radical is like the pillar. So we know in Chinese architecture, we have a very important techniques. That is, we use beams in decoding. Decoding is a kind of skill in building the architecture, in building in constructing the building. So here is decoding. Now that is to use this wood to support. The purpose of the decoding is to bear load, to support the roofs. So here is the unique techniques in Chinese architecture. Here we use this decoding skill or mortise and tenon joint to support the roof. This is the roof. So the mu as a radical in Chinese character, this is the mu, the original wood shaped. It's like a tree. And then, well, it changed like this. Well, actually didn't change a lot from the oracle bone to modern writing. So that's what we say. That's what we mean that Chinese character is like an architecture, built like an architecture. So we have a lot of these radicals to make this word, to construct the character. And another aspect, another example is that kind of balance and proportion, like a structural load bearing. Let's take some words, for example. Here we have the word sen. Sen, it means dense forest. It has three mu. Here, mu means tree. Yeah, so when you have more than three, it means a lot. So the bottom two mu are wider to support the above one. So this mimicking a stable triangle structure. And so we have a lot of these words with three similar particles or radicals. Here is another word, jing. Jing means crystal. Here we have three ri. Ri means sun. And of course, the sun is very bright. So jing, jing means very bright, crystal bright, very much like the sunshine. So here the top ri is centered while the bottom two are balanced like pillows. And another example is Yao. Here we have 3 Tu. Tu means earth. This radical originally meant high rising mounds of earth. Yeah, it means earth. Well, we have this rising a little bit higher mounds of earth. Now it is often used in names, and it means it has the implication of stability and solidity. So through these words, we can see it indicate kind of stability with tu, yeah. We have just mentioned that Chinese architecture is composed of these modules. So radicals and components in writing is also combined like prefabricated timber frames. Let's take the word men, for example. We have just mentioned the word men. Yeah, it has the balance there. And men as a radical also indicate something related to the door. For example, here we have the word 问, asking or ask. So the structure is 门 plus 口. 口 here means mouth or speaking. So when you speak at the door, when you are asking someone at the door, it means ask. When you talk at the door, it means ask. So here you can guess the word through these kind of components. And now another word is 间. For example, we use this word as a measure word a lot. For example, we say 一间房子. So here 间 means room, or we also have the word 时间. So it means time. Here also means interval in time or between. So why it has such kind of meaning? Let's see. Here it has the 门 and the sunlight will go through the door. So that makes the space between two things. So here you can see, yeah, it changed from the original bronze inscription to the regular one. Yeah, so it means a kind of room or interval here, 间. We have the word 间隔, that means interval. Now, another word, 闪. Here is a man, and another is a person. Yeah, this is the seal script, and yeah, you can see it did not change a lot. Here, this is the simplified one. This is the regular script. So here's 闪. When a person appears at the door, it means he moves very quickly. So here, door with a person means a person dodging behind the door or peeking or glimpsing very quickly behind the door. So it indicates a very sudden movement. So that's the word 闪. Like we have the word lightning. So 闪电, it means very quick movement. And here you can guess the meaning. Here is a door. Here is a latch. When the door has the latch, it means it closed. So here we have the word close. 闭, it means the door is shut, it's closed. So door, and then plus 才. Well, actually, 才 here means the door latch. Yeah, so it means close the door. So here you can see the door is like in agriculture, like the pre-made timber frame. Yeah, so in the character, it's a particle, it's a radical or component to make a word. Now, let's move on to the next part. So we say characters are architectural blueprint. Now, why we say that? Now, as we have just mentioned that the Chinese character can indicate its special presentation. Let's take some words. For example, here we have the radical 棉. It pronounced as 棉, or we can also say 宝盖头. When you are learning Chinese, we say this is 宝盖头, or it pronounced as a 棉, meaning roof. So it usually represents buildings, houses, or covered spaces. So when you learn a character with this radical, you can guess the meaning. Yeah, you can guess that it is probably related to the building. Just like in learning English, we have the prefix, suffix to guess the meaning. So the same thing as in Chinese character, we have these radicals for us to guess its meaning. So let's see the word an. Maybe you have already learned the word an. For example, we say 安全 means safe. Now here is an, the upper part, well, is indicating a roof, and the lower part indicating a woman. Here is the original script. This is original script in Oracle inscription. Here indicate a woman. Now, as we know, in ancient China, people usually kneel. They don't stand for women. They usually sit on their knees. That's their position, sit on their knees. So here is a woman sit on her knees. And then it changed a little bit into the simplified, into the regular here, 女, a woman. So when a house has a woman in it, it means it brings the family a kind of a peace and a safety. So that's how an came into being. So with this, we know the kind of, it's a building with the radical here, 面. Take the word 家 for example. So you have learned the word 家, I read already, I guess. Now, originally in ancient China, people keep the livestock indoors. So for a family, usually they have these livestock under, well, in the first floor, and in the second floor, they may live on the second floor. So they have the pig. So the first part is a roof, the upper part is a roof, and the lower part is a pig. So here is how the word pig changed from very much like the real world object to more here, very, and then to the regular seal, it's more, the line more straight, it's more straight. And now here is the word, here this word means pronounced as 屎, it means pig. So for a 家, it has the roof and it has the pig in it. That means home or family. Yeah. So that's the word the radical 面 indicate. Now this word is 室. We have the word 教室. Originally 室 here with the roof, and then here is something. Let's see. That's the oracle bone inscription. Here it means an arrow. When an arrow arrived there, it means it's time for people to to stay, to have a rest. So that means you go to a home to take a rest. When those hunters to shoot an animal, and then he got the animal, the prey, and then it's time for him to go home to have a rest. So here, 是, the roof, up part roof, and the lower part change into this. Actually, the lower part here is 土, and also an arrow. So that means arrive. So 至 means arrive. So a place where you arrive. So that's a room for you to take a rest. So that's the word 是 means. Now, here is another word with the 面 or roof in the upper part. And the lower part, here, the lower part now we write as 100, but actually originally it is only a mat. Here is a person, a mat, a person sleeping, is sleeping under a roof. That is the, oracle bone inscription, a person. Here, the left part is a person, and then the right part is a mat. A person is sleeping, and then change it, the writing into, here is the regular writing. Now, so it is composed of three parts. One is the roof, another is a person, left part, and then right part is a mat. So that's a word su. It means stay overnight. And we have the word phrase like 住宿 or 宿舍. So this is the word su. That means a place for you to rest. And another word is gong here, means palace. Today we'll talk a lot about the palace, the forbidden city. Here, the structure is also the roof, 冕, and plus here is 出口, So we can see the changes of this word. That's the real word situation, a place with rooms connect together. Here, change into this way. And then gradually it change into the modern regular seal. Now, it means several rooms connected together. That means it's a very grand building or roofed building. So that's the gong. So nowadays, we use this gong to indicate a very splendid building. Now, let's see the semantic changes of the word gong. Originally, it just means a general building or dwelling. That's in ancient times during the Shang and the Zhou dynasty. Gong here refers to any large building or residence, not necessarily a place for the emperor to live. So it's not an imperial place. Gradually, the meaning changed. It is narrowed to mean imperial palace, that is in Qing dynasty onward. So by Qing and the Han dynasty, gong became exclusively associated with imperial buildings. Here, you can find all these can be referred to, can be used to refer to describe as gong. So it reflects the emperor's supreme status with this gong. For the ordinary people's residence, you cannot use the word gong to describe it. So for ordinary people's residence, they can only use the word jia. So jia can be used to refer to the house or family, or they can also use the word zhai. Zhai for a kind of noble family. They can also use the word zhai. And so the meaning extended from the original general building to that narrowed to imperial palace, and then later on, the meaning extended in later use. So it can be used to refer to those temples or religious buildings. For example, in Beijing, we have the Yonghe Gong. That's a kind of temple, Lama temple. That's Yonghe Gong. And we also use this to refer to the, other temples, or we use the word to refer to the emperor's palace or as well. And for the culture or entertainment venues, we can also now use the word gong. For example, we have the word 少年宫, children's palace. That's a place, a center for youth activities. Here you can see in Shanghai, this is in Beijing, 少年宫. And here is the Shanghai Wenhua Gong Culture Palace. So the meaning is extended, not only refer to the emperor's palace, but also can be used to refer to some temples or sacred structures. Yeah, that's the changes of the word gong. Here we can find many characters depict architectural forms. Take the word wu, for example. Wu, I think you have learned in your Chinese class, like a roof or house, we have this word wu. And the radical here is very much like a sloping roof. So this is the original seal writing. Here is a sloping roof. Yeah, and the inside is like the word 是. It has the word 治. Yeah, that means a place for you to sleep, for you to take a rest. So like the architecture forms, sloping roof. So when you visit China, you can find a lot of such kind of sloping roof building. Yeah. And then low indicate multi-story building. So we have mentioned the left part, mu, indicate the material of this instruction, of this building, of this architecture. And so here, mu indicate timber construction. And layers means not only one layer, but several layers. So here, wu can be one layer, but for the low, several layer or several story. And now we have this modern building. We also use the word low to indicate several or multiple story building, 大楼. Now, Chinese radicals are in their fixed positions, like rooms in building. Now, when you learn Chinese writing for the first time, you will often feel confused how to start the first stroke, where to start, how to start. But if you know the structure of the Chinese character, you will find it easy to grasp. Usually, we have the several fixed position. We have like left, right, split. That is to say, you write from the left part and then to the right part. So you write left part first. Now, for example, here we have this left-right split with the 土 plus other component. So the radical 土 means earth. On the left part often indicate the meaning related to earth or soil. Or construction made from those material. For example, the word 城, originally it means city wall. So you can see how this word 城 changed from the bronze inscription. Left part is like a tower, and the right part is like a weapon to defend, to protect this tower. So a kind of a weapon, and then change it. So in ancient city, the city walls were built of packed earth. So this indicates that the Chen in ancient time, the city wall is built or were built of packed earth, and with the word 土 on the left side, that's the city wall. So it refers to this kind of defensive walls surrounding ancient capitals. So originally, Chen is used to protect the capital. Yeah. And over time, it generalized to mean city in general, but still it retained the connection to urban fortification. So still it has the meaning to protect or to defend the city. For example, in China, we have the Great Wall. We call that Changcheng. So it is actually a kind of wall and to build to protect the inner part of the city. So that's the Changcheng, the Great Wall. And another word is qiang. So with two on the left side, you can see it must be related to the earth. So the word here, qiang, originally means wall, traditionally made of earth or bricks. That's qiang. So whether it is in a house or in some other city wall, you have this kind of chen qiang. That means there is a wall to defend the city, to protect the city. We built a wall to protect the inner part. So that's chengqiang. So it's made of earth or bricks. So that's very, we have a lot of words made from the left to right position, to right from left to right. So they have this fixed position. Another very often used position is from top to bottom hierarchy. So top, like the word nian as a roof. We have just mentioned the word jia with the roof on the top and the pig at the bottom. So it means the roof cover the lower component, like a house, shelter, its contents. So that's the word jia mean. And we also just mentioned the word an, from a part to a lower part. So from top to bottom, roof with the woman in it. And so it's under the roof. This makes the family safe, indicate safety. So that's the word jia. Well, we have also the word with enclosed space, like walls or gate. For example, here is a yuan. Yuan means garden. This is kou, or we can pronounce as wei as a radical. And inside is a yuan, which actually means something cultivated in this enclosure. So this enclosure define the garden's boundaries, walled courtyard. And so this outer kou or wei mirrors garden walls. So when you have this word yuan, usually it means it has a wall. It has a wall around it. So this is the yuan mean. And also from the if we talk that from the feng shui, we can see that walls, that is a kou, a circle, enclosure. That means it can shield the garden's qi, qi or energy. We call that qi. So will not let this energy go out. So this internal layer will follow microcosm principles. That's the yuan. So if you go to China, you can find a lot of this yuan ling, especially in Suzhou and also in Beijing kind of yuan. And usually it means it has a wall around it as a walled enclosure or walled courtyard. And it has some something grown in it, or plants, or rivers, or lakes. So that's the picture. This is the picture of a garden in Suzhou. So just as culture relies on structured layers, like we have load-bearing walls, symmetrical facades, Chinese characters also use this radical positioning to create logical, balanced forms. So if you learn these radicals or splits, it can help us to decode characters, like reading a blueprint. So you can use those hints to decode the Chinese character. Well, let's move on to the next part, culture ideas embedded in forms. Now, here we can see here is a picture of in Suzhou. Suzhou is a city very famous for its garden. Now you can see, well, Chinese character mimic nature forms and the feng shui principles. We have mentioned the word sun, and so sun indicates stacked. Well, sun is made of three moos. Mu means trees, so it echoes feng shui principles in garden design. So these stacked elements indicate a kind of a balance or repetition. And this repetition symbolizes abundance. So with three mu, it means dense wood or the forest. So classical gardens use clustered trees like bamboo groves to create a layered natural barriers for qi to flow. This is Suzhou Line Grove Garden. So this is a Line Grove Garden in Suzhou. It used a lot of dense rocky rocks and trees to mimic a kind of a forest of stones. So we also can see the pond, yeah, to make this qi circulate. So it tries to create a kind of a harmony with the nature. So harmony with nature is a very important principle in Chinese architecture, in feng shui principle. And another is that water and flow. Here is the word miao. Miao with three water, you can guess the meaning, a lot of water, right? Three water indicate a lot. So miao means vast water. And in Chinese gardens, we have these lakes in the garden. Here is the summer palace in Beijing, and they have in Summer Palace there is a Kunming Lake, so a very vast water. This Kunming Lake, with this lake, it mirrors the expansive water ideal, reflecting yin and yang balance. So yin means water, yang means sky. So create the sky and the water that makes a balance between yin and the yang. So that's the well in Summer Palace, Kunming Lake. And also the word he, I think you have already learned the word he. Here, the left part, three dots indicate water, and he, right part, pronounced as ke, that provide a kind of phonetic of this word he. So in the garden, if you visit Suzhou or in some other places, the garden, you can find this kind of curved streams. Here is these are the pictures of Suzhou's Master of Nets garden, Wang Shiyuan. So it followed the natural meander or to guide qi gently. So it has this kind of river. So try so that when you walk through this garden, it is not a straight line. It is a kind of meanders. Well, not straight, because we try to avoid straight lines. It is well said. For feng shui principle, we try to follow. For feng shui principle, you do not use this straight line. Instead, you use this disruptive, kind of zigzag or line, yeah, curved line. Now, architectural parallels can be found in classical garden. Here, let's take the word ting, for example. So here, ting means pavilion, where the upper part, the top, is here means roof. you can find this radical in the word gao. Gao means tall. Yeah, you can find the same radical. So here means roof. We have a different radical to indicate a roof. Here is another radical to indicate a roof. While the lower part is ding. So here ding is a measure word for a person. Yeah, so it means a place for people to rest. So this is the function of ting. Yeah, so we have this word ting, and then in architecture we have this ting here in the garden, in the park also. We can find this ting, curved roof. Yeah, and this pavilion usually are placed at key vantage points. For example, the lake edge, so that it can to be harmonious with nature, to frame nature. So very much like the character's roof, shelter the lower structure. So the ting, the upper part is a roof, and to protect person. Yeah, that very much like that. So it's very parallel. And the word qiao, if you look at the left part, it's mu. Mu indicate the material is made from the wood or made of wood. And the right part means tall. Qiao also indicate the pronunciation. So as for feng shui, they usually have this zigzag bridge. For example, here is a Yuan Garden in Shanghai. Here, if you visit Shanghai, you must go to visit Yuan Garden. You can find this zigzag bridge. Zigzag bridge, we call that 9-turn bridge. It has 9 turns. So the purpose for this zigzag is also it follows the feng shui principle. And because this kind of zigzag can create a kind of dynamics. Also, it is said it can slow qi, without let the qi go out quickly. And it can deter evil spirits. It is said that the evil spirits move in straight lines. So you do not use these straight lines. So in Chinese garden, you can find those paths or not in the straight path, but usually it has some curves or zigzag forms. So that's the word qiao. Here you can find a person on a tall place, a high place. So qiao is usually high. Yeah, you have a person on the bridge, so it's usually high. And not only harmonious with the nature, but and also try to be harmonious with the cosmos. So these Chinese characters represent the architectural harmony with the cosmos. Let's see the word here, yu. So here the word has the upper part, roof, and the lower part here indicate a kind of post. Yeah, also indicate the pronunciation phonetic. So originally the word yu here, yu, means the eaves of a roof. Here is the eaves of a roof, providing shade and rain protection. So that's the eaves. Yeah, you can find the eaves here and the eaves. Yeah, so these are the eaves and then something to support it. That's yu. So that's the original meaning of the eaves of a roof. And then later on, the meaning is extended to mean the whole building. For example, we have the phrase wu yu. Wu means house, yu, that means whole building. And later on, it is extended into a larger space, that is the universe or space. So that's how the word changed from the very narrow meaning, eaves, to a very broader meaning to universe. So it indicates a kind of space. So for the word yu, it has the cultural significance. So originally, well, for a person, you can see that eaves, it can be used to indicate the social status. It is a symbol of status. So for a building with splendid, with the grand eaves, then this building, will be very expensive in making, and the social status of this family must be very high. So this is the building in Forbidden City. That's the building for the emperor to stay. So you can see the eaves is very splendid, magnificent. Yeah, and so this is for the eaves of a roof indicate a person's or the family's social status. And then also it indicates the cosmic harmony of the, it has also the cosmic harmony, the meaning of cosmic family, cosmic harmony. And so that's the word, the yu, because it mirrors the Confucius or Taoism idea that human structures should align with cosmic order. So it has this kind of 天人合一, the idea to align with the cosmic order. And so the temple or palace design often mirror celestial patterns. So here you can see this is the 天坛, Temple of Heavens, and Temple of Heavens. So you can see here the eaves. It has this circular layer. So it indicates a kind of connection with the heaven. Yeah. And then also it has the, for the word yu, it has the great influence in feng shui. So because yu indicate a kind of protective eaves. So these protective eaves were believed to ward off evil spirits. So this eaves has the protective function to ward off evil spirits. So it has the function echoing on upturned roof corner. So here you can see the eaves has the upturned roof corner. Yeah, very here. So this is the influenced by this feng shui. So the enclosed space with the roof under the word yu symbolize safety and family unity. So for this word yu originally, it has the meaning of the eaves and then change into the meaning of universe. So it represents architectural harmony with cosmos. For this, we see these temple roofs mirroring heaven. And then in philosophy, we have the word 宇宙 with 宇 together used with 宙. It means universe. It combines 宇, space, and 宙, time. So when we use 宇宙 together, it indicates the ancient Chinese view of universe, of the cosmos. So 宇 indicates time, 宙 indicates 宇 indicates space, 宙 indicates time. Now let's see the word 宙. Here, 宙 means time, eternity. Also, it has the roof and plus you indicated the phonetic meaning. So 宙 originally means ridge pole of a house. So you see here. And then it is the central beam here, supporting the roof. And later on, it changed into the meaning of infinity time. Yeah. So in 宇宙, 宙 represent time, 宇 represent space. So that's the view of Chinese. That reflects the Chinese cyclical view of time. Yeah, it's cyclical, not linear time, but cyclical time. Okay, so we often use 宇宙 together now to reflect the intersection of architecture and cosmology. Okay. Now, another point is the hierarchy and order can be found in both the architecture and Chinese character. As we mentioned that the word 中, the stroke order. Well, when you write in Chinese character, you follow the stroke order rules. So these stroke order rules mirror Confucius values in this can be seen in palace layout. So we have mentioned that there is an central axis or axial symmetry in the Forbidden City, as this is a central axis. And the character also represents this kind of a center. Forbidden City is a place for the emperor to stay, to work, and to stay. Well, there is another very important architecture, which is the Charles family compound. This Charles family compound is a well-preserved Qing Dynasty merchant residence. So this is a residence for a merchant. It is still there in Shanxi province. So this compound can demonstrate a profound connection between Chinese architecture and the symbolism of Chinese character. So its layout, its structure form, and its decorative motifs often mirror this kind of a balance, symmetry, and philosophical meaning inherent in Chinese writing. So this is if you go inside, you can find this kind of symmetry and decorative eaves of the roof. And this is the screen wall with the, here is a happiness on this. This is a decorative motif on this wall. If you take a close look at the layout of this Charles compound, you can find this building very much like a kou radical or wei radical, a square enclosure symbolize unity, protection, and familiar harmony. So this is for a very, very big family to stay. So like a character framed within its radical, this courtyard, it has a lot of 17 courtyard. These courtyard buildings are arranged inward. Here is a kou or wall to enclose it. And then in this enclosed wall, there are these different courtyards, several courtyards. If you take a close look, you can find the design or the layout is very much in the shape of Chinese character, double happiness. So you have learned happiness, 喜欢. Here, double happiness. So double happiness, this character is often used in a wedding. We put these paper cutting or writing on the new house for bride and the groom to stay. So this, if you take a close look, you can find it's very much like this character. So it symbolizes joy and prosperity. So this is the word that Chinese people very much like. And so, this layout is, if you look at each layout, each building, each courtyard, it's very much like it follows the traditional 四合院. 四合院 means quadrular courtyard or the 4 square courtyard. So it reflects the Chinese philosophy of familiar unity and hierarchical order. So when we say 四合院 or courtyard house, we need to know what kind of courtyard is called 四合院. So here, 四合院 is a traditional architecture style that has a cornerstone of Chinese culture for centuries. This kind of building can be found especially in northern China. And this 四合院 reflect Confucius' principle of hierarchy, harmony, and family values, while showcasing very sophisticated architecture technique. And for this 四合院, for a standard 四合院, it consists of 4 buildings. So that's why we call it 四. And 4 buildings here arranged symmetrically around a central courtyard. Here is the courtyard, and forming a rectangular enclosure. So you can usually find these 4 buildings. The main building here is on the north, facing south. So we called it follows strict north-south axial alignment. Remember, we have mentioned the Forbidden City. For this Forbidden City, it also followed the north-south axial alignment with main buildings on the central line. So here, the main house on the, is on the north, and facing south, it's the most important building. And then on the west wing, and then we have the east wing on the left, on the west and east wing, we have the building for the younger generation. So the main house here for the parents, the older generation. And also it follow the Jing layout. So here the word Jing means well, with the rooms on 4 sides, a courtyard in the center, very much like this word Jing. So this is a courtyard for family gathering. So it's like the Forbidden City. Yeah, it's a kind of a microcosm of Forbidden City. So for the layout of a traditional noble residence, it usually follow the layout like this. First, the gate, you enter the gate, and then you go into the courtyard, and then you go to the hall. Hall, that's the most important building, hall. And then when you go inside, you go into the chamber, the room. So the gate is an entrance to this compound, and this gate often imposing and symbolizing status. Yeah, and for a gate can be a simple gateway, doorway, or it can be a elaborated gatehouse. And then for the courtyard, it's an open courtyard. After passing the gate, you go into the courtyard for gathering. And for a large estate, they have several courtyards, like we have just mentioned, the Qiao's family compound. It has 17 courtyards. And then the town, that's the main public hall. In this town, the formal activities took place for people to receive guests, or holding ceremony, or conducting family ritual. That's in town. And then for a private living quarters, that is shi, it is located behind the town. Let's take a picture of a close look at this. We have just mentioned the layout. Here is the screen wall to protect the door. You don't want other people to see your door directly. So this is the door gate. And when you go into the door gate, you, for a big family, they have the second gate, and then go into the gate, and there is another gatehouse, and then go into the courtyard, and then the west wing building, the east wing house or building for the younger generation. Usually elder son stay here on the east side is usually more higher status. And then this building, the most important one, That's for the most important person in the family to live. That's usually the parents or grandparents to live here. And then behind that, that's a more private one. So usually for the female or those who are not married. So that's more private. So you can see it separates public with the private spaces with these different gates. Yeah, we have the gates here, or big family have another gates. Okay, yeah, we have this gate here. The building, we have just mentioned. That's the 正房. That means for most important. This is the most important building in the house. Now, we mentioned that the gate here, the gate or the door can be a symbol of family status. So for a poor family, it can be a very simple door. For a big family, for an imperial family, it can be a very elaborated, decorated door. So here, this door is for the emperor to stay. So very elaborately decorated door with the features such as carved door frame. Here is door frame and painted door leaves, usually painted red, and decorative door knockers. These are the door knockers. So these elements not only enhance the aesthetics, it's very beautiful, and also demonstrate the earners of wealth and power. So that's the different gate. So for the connotations of the door in culture, well, the symbol of a door can be it can be the symbol of opening and opportunity. So we welcome, for example, on the New Year's Day, on the first New Year's Day, we open the door early to welcome wealth, to welcome the new year, to pray for good luck and prosperity. And also for the ritual and the symbolic, it has ritual and symbolic significance. For example, in Chinese traditional wedding, and yeah, the bridegroom should pass through the front gate of the bride's house to pick up the bride, which means the formal entry of the new couple into a new life. And in funeral, and all the coffin is carried out through the main gate. It also is a solemn ritual process. So these customs and ritual reflect the important position of doors in Chinese culture and people's respect and emphasis on the. And here is a very interesting metaphors and idioms with the word door. Here you can see in Chinese idioms, we have a phrase that is called 门当户对. This phrase is still widely used today to describe the matching of family backgrounds and the social status between two families in marriage. We say, these two families are 门当户对. That means their family status are similar. They match each other. So what is a 门当 and what is 户对? So this is a 门当 here, 门当. Now these two are 门当. Usually located on both sides of the gate in traditional Chinese architecture. It is made of stone. And this is this 门当, and this is 户对. Yeah, 户对. Well, this 户对 refers door pins above the gate. So these two matches each other. So some family has no 户对 or no 门当. That's ordinary family. If the family has a very high status, it may have this 门当 and 户对. So the number of 门当 and 户对 indicate the status. Some have 2 or some have here 4. Yeah, or so it's the number is different, then the status changes. So we use this 门当 and 户对 to say that these two families match each other. Okay, so if we say 他们门不当户不对, that means these two families do not match in their family background. So just now we mentioned this well-shaped courtyard. So this well here, you can see the original real world object like this, and then the oracle bone inscription, and then that is the modern one. So this well-shaped was not just the well was not just a water source, but traditionally in ancient China, well, the buildings or the houses are built around, surround the wall, because the wall is a water source for people to live. So the wall is a center in area. So usually these buildings, the houses will have the wall in the center. A wall is a place for people to communicate, for social, for social gathering. Yeah, and so the word wall has the indicate the early urban planning. And it also, the wall is a public space as people to get water from the wall, and then that is a public place. And also it has influence on the structure. So here you can see it use this kind of frame. And later on in the Chinese architecture, as we have just mentioned, the dougong, modest and tenant, yeah, they use this structure to support the roof. So because this is very stable. So the word Jing later on has the meaning of order and civilization, and it has the metaphor of stability and nourishment. Yeah, that's the word Jing. And Forbidden City courtyard also follows this well or Jing template. So you can see it all follow that with the courtyard in between. And let's take a close look at the Forbidden City. We have mentioned the three important hall, that's 太和殿, 中和殿, and 保和殿. 太和 in English means the hall of supreme harmony. Yeah. So this part is for, we call that outer court, yeah, a vast Jing-shaped courtyard. So that's for the emperor to work. This is the place for the emperor to work. And then then behind that, that's the inner court. We call that Hougong. That's smaller, nested well. This is a palace for private imperial life. And this is a place for public ceremony. Here, Qian Cao, and here is Hougong for private life. Okay. So Jing indicates order, symmetry, and division, like this wells, like the wells provide the water source. Okay, well, we'll skip this because well, it tells us, well, for a simple 四合院, it has only one advance. Yeah, that's the one advance is like a kou shape. Yeah, a square kou. And for a more wealthy family, it has two courtyards. So these two courtyards is in the shape of Ri. Yeah, here we have another shape. And then for a big family, it has three courtyards. And then three courtyards is in the shape of Mu. Yeah, Mu. Yeah, here you can see here. It's Mu. Yeah, Mu. Okay. For the Mu, you have the door, and then the main building, Ting Tang, and then the private shi. So first Tang, and then shi. Yeah. Well, this is what we have just mentioned. Well, here we would like to say a few words about the word courtyard, yuan. So, for the yuan, the word we have just mentioned, it is from left to right part. It indicates a private place enclosed with the wall. So the outer area is tang, in the first and the second courtyard is tang, and the inner quarter is shi, more private for women or domestic life. So that's the word yuan. And nowadays, we have this yuan. The meaning is extended not only to used in Sihe Yuan courtyard, but also in other phrases, other organizations or establishment. For example, we use the word 医院, that means a hospital. When we say 院, it usually has a wall around it, very organized establishment. And also we have the college, 学院, or that means you have a courtyard in it, or there is enclosed or a wall around it. And then also public compound like 法院, court of law. So that's the word court. Originally, it is originally to mean a tranquil walled residence built on high ground, but gradually it has extended meaning. And the word tang, the tang, we have mentioned the tang means the most important building. It's the central building in the courtyard. So that's the word tang, the main hall. The elders in the family live. It is the central part. Let's look at the word tang, why it has such kind of meaning. So the upper, it has the word tu, and the upper part is shang. Shang means respecting the superior or admire. So for the word tang, it means that it is a high platform building constructed with the earth. So this character can reflect the characteristics of the traditional architecture. They use the earth as the main building material. And also, it means that it should, okay, so you can see there are steps going up to enter into the tang. So that's the, what tang means. Okay, shi is more inside what we have just mentioned. We'll skip that. So if we compare tang and shi, you may find tang is larger, is for public life. And while shi is a private living space, is smaller, it's behind tang. So we have a phrase, 登堂入室. So you have to go into the tang with the steps, it means higher. And then after that, you can go inside the shi. So this is a tang and this is the shi. Okay. And this phrase, 登堂入室, can also be used to metaphorically to mean for if you want to get educational, if you 登堂入室, that means you have got educational or an artistic achievement. Okay. So writing actually is a kind of construction. And so the writing and architecture, the shared terminology, they have the same terminology. For example, in writing, we have the word 结构. The writing should be follow its structure. And in architecture, you also should follow its structure. For example, the word 建, the meaning itself is construct. So that's an example of the concept of overlap of building and in writing, also in both architecture and character composition. So here is the word 建. You have the walking radical, and you have here is 玉, means writing with the writing brush to design, to draft. Okay, that's the structure. You follow the structure, and in writing you follow the 布局 layout, and also you need the balance in your writing, and also you need a space in your writing. So very much like architecture. So the linguistic and the conceptual overlap. This overlap reflect Chinese culture, view writing as a special and almost architectural art form. And also in writing and the structure, they all have the indicate the features of permanence and fluidity. For the building, they have the timber frame and a stone foundation. That's the permanence. And then in character, we have the fixed radical and the fixed stroke order. That's the permanent. But in fluidity, for example, in the river, in the garden, we have this river. It's flow. It can flow. It gives us the dynamic and flowing feelings. And also in the 四合院, you have the open courtyard and the movable partitions. That kind of fluidity. This is a kind of fluidity. And in writing, we also have different script, like a cursive script or contextual forms, etc. So, okay, we'll skip that. And we say character, a cultural monument. So the characters play a significant role in understanding Chinese culture. So we would like to understand this Chinese culture better through these characters or through these architecture. So Qiao's family compound and Forbidden City, these can be read like a Chinese character. So it has its form, structure, and meanings or symbolic meanings interrelated to convey the culture values. And in architecture, we also have some inscriptions on the architecture, like the inscription, plaque, couplets. So these add some elements to these add Chinese characters on this building, so that combine character and structure. So we say architecture is a living character. Architecture is a living character. Okay, that's it.
Thank you. Just right in time. Thank you very much.